Okay, let's move to the next chapter and take few lines. Okay, the next chapter is about riba, wal qard, wal waqf, wal itq. Okay, riba is the interest. Qarz is when you give loan or take loan. Wal waqf, waqf is in, how do you say, endowment. Where you say, for example, this is my garden, it's not allowed to be sold, it remains as it is, but its production is waqf for the poor people or anyone. Anyone who passes by this area, poor people want to benefit from the fruits or so, it is waqf. This is called waqf, endowment, where the property or the garden remains as it is, and its benefits is not for the owner, for the people living in the area or whoever the owner wants. Sometimes they say, okay, this restaurant, for example, or lodge is waqf for the Muslim travelers. Anyone travel by the area want to spend some night or few days, it is for them for free. That's called waqf. Wal itqu, and another point is freeing the slave. So he's discussing four things: riba, qarz, waqf, and freeing a slave. As for the riba, he's saying, iyaka riba, fala dirhamun ashaddu iqaban min zinaka bin nuhadi. He's saying, be away or stay away from the riba, from the interest. A dirham that a person owns through what we say riba transaction is more serious than adultery with a binuhadi, meaning adultery with a woman, committing zina. So this one dirham that a person earns is more sinful or brings more punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the adultery, even though the adultery is also serious. There's a punishment, prescribed punishment, isn't there? What is the punishment? 100 stone is for the married one, and for the young who hasn't been married or virgin, let's say, they will be lashes, 100 lashes. Okay, as for the riba, there's another hadith in which Prophet ﷺ said riba has 100 different levels. The least one is, na'uz billah, is more serious or brings more sin than committing adultery with one's mother, na'uz billah. It's a very serious issue. So one has to try to avoid taking riba or giving riba. And Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah says, rightly, that after kufr and shirk, the most serious, a sin about which we find more warning and more warning and more wa'id and threatening in the textual evidences. After kufr and shirk, he says it is the riba, about which we find more textual evidences, more hadiths or more ayat warning or issuing punishment or issuing warning. Obviously, the most serious is shirk or kufr. Okay, after that he says it is riba. وَتُمْحَقُ أَمْوَالُ الرِّبَا وَإِنْ نَمَتْ, and the barakah of the wealth acquired through riba transaction will be taken away. وَتُمْحَقُ أَمْوَالُ الرِّبَا, meaning there won't be barakah. Okay, you find many people winning lottery, and what happens? After a few years they are bankrupt, nothing has left. And this guy who died, Michael Jackson or someone, okay, he used to go and buy, and then he would say, I want clothes from there till there, spending that lavishly. I mean, some of the clothes may not be of his size or so. But he would go to those big, and he would say, okay, pack from there all till there. And what happened? I mean, the wealth that comes through illegal way disappears as well very quick. No barakah. That's what he's saying. Tumhaqu amwal riba. And he's saying in the Quran as well, Yamhaqullahu riba wa yurbi sadaqat. The barakah of the riba will be taken away. Wa yurbi sadaqat, and the halal income and the charity that you give will bring barakah and the reward in hereafter. وَيَرْبُو قَلِيلُ الْهِلِّ فِي صِدْقِ مَوْعِدِهِ, and qalilul hill, meaning the halal income, even though let's say it is little, it is more blessed for you and it brings more goodness for you than lot of haram. Okay, so few thousand money through halal is better than a million that a person wins through lottery or through riba transaction and so on and so forth. Okay, وَآكِلُهُ مَا مُوكِلٍ مَا كَاتِبٍ فَقَدْ جَاءَ فِيهِ لَعْنُهُمْ مَا شُهَدٍ. So he's saying the one who consumes riba and the one who gives the riba and the one who is writing, recording, and the one who is being witness, all of them have been cursed. All of them have been cursed. And this hadith authentic in which Prophet ﷺ said, لَعْنَ اللَّهُ آكِلَ الرِّبَا وَمُوكِلَهُ وَكَاتِبَهُ وَشَاهِدَيْهِ. Anyone who is involved. وَإِن تَقْرِضَنَّ شَيْئًا فَنَدْبٌ مُضَاعَفٌ. Okay, now he's talking about the qarz. So we finished about the riba. So one has to try to avoid mortgage. Okay, when you borrow money, again you end up paying mortgage, isn't it? You end up paying more than what you have taken.
What is the ruling for this Islamic mortgage?
There isn't really nothing that is frankly speaking.
But
Because the entire fiat currency, the way it works is, it's so, unless there are people like the ex-chief of banking at Deutsche Bank, Haris Irfan, he's trying to do something to Cordoba Finance, the company he set up. But frankly speaking, every single person, this whole concept of fiat currency is sinful. Unless we try to actually create a parallel system, all the banks that if you're not within this, I don't even know if an Islamic bank technically can even exist in this economic system. That's the biggest problem. We've been struggling. I mean, I can tell you, for instance, Pakistan, I'm sorry to hijack the conversation, but for instance, Pakistan is going to pass a ruling, I've heard from people who are very close to the government there, that every single transaction within Pakistan has to be free of riba. That includes insurance and everything. But how are you going to do it?
Okay, one of my ambitions, let's say, to set up a charity. I was talking about for the last 7-8 years. And charity meaning set up a big charity, involve, it should be a teamwork or so, and help people, poor people from abroad and some people from the local, like students, give them the Qarz Hasna. People who are looking to buy home, for example, and have 50-70%, and obviously they cannot resist it. They are ending up taking riba, either the conventional one or the Islamic one. In Islamic one, you end up paying back more than Nauzubillah. See, they haven't made things easier.
They're trying to fit into that's the problem. They take this and they try to fit it into the fiat model, which is where it fails. If everything was traded on just pure commodity, then it's not a problem. But they try to take, because one system is working with where money can be grown without any commodity. And the other systems try to fit into it, which is our Islamic model. It's a big issue.
It is.
Islamic mortgage is like selling alcohol, but telling people that this is great juice.
No, listen, it is not. It's not that much obvious of being haram. Sorry to say you. I mean, there are some clauses that are questionable. Otherwise, for example, if me and let's say Hamza, if we two are buying a home, okay, I have put 200,000 and he has put 200,000. If we rent, how much share of the rent I will get? 50, other 50 he will get. So the concept, the apparent concept of the Islamic banking is based upon this idea that you have put, whatever you have put, 30, 40, 50%, the remaining they have, then they assess how much the rent should be. Okay, and they take from the rent according to the percentage that they have given. So until there is fine. Until there is fine. For example, I gave you the example. I'm buying, me and Hamza, let's say, buying a home. I have put 60% and he has 40. So, and we have rented. So the 60% rent belongs to me and 40 belongs to him in proportion to the money that we have put. So it is the same concept, but there are some clauses that are questionable. I mean, yes, the house remains in the name of the bank until you clear, and there are many other issues. You're not allowed to put anything into the capital for 2 years or something. Some of the clauses make it dodgy. Otherwise, the basic concept is okay.
Sorry, Mom, the basic one is wrong. Sorry,
What is that?
Islamic banking, because when you borrow money off them, they track same as on above Bank of England's base rate. So does the conventional banks. So that's the fundamental issue with them. So yeah, you could be borrowing 50% from them, and you're giving them 50%
Of the rent, yes.
of the rent, but the interest rate they're charging you, whatever they call it, is exactly the same as conventional bank, which is whatever if Bank of England.
No, they say they are not charging an interest. They are taking rent. They are taking rent in proportion to the money that they have given to you.
It's just like a different way of saying it. But if you look at it,
No, not is different way.
because they say like
For example, they have given you 2,000 and you have put 2,000, and then they will assess, now you're living in the home, so as it is being rented by you. So they say, okay, now you have to pay me 50% of the rent. Okay, what wrong they do? Generally speaking, their rent is higher than the market rent. So let's say the market rent is 15, they may say, oh, 1,800 the rent is, and then you have to pay 900, 50%. That is one thing wrong. The rent should be according to market. And the other clauses are, otherwise if I've given you money for, let's say, 200,000 and you put 2, and then you say, okay, I'm going to live. So I will say, okay, then because half of property is me, so pay the half of the rent for me. Is there anything wrong in that?
no, but they work on the.
But the other clauses, they say, for this much amount of year, you are not allowed to put any, increase the capital that you have given. And the house completely will be on their name until you clear everything, I think. It should be 50% or something. They don't.
explicitly say that they are tracking Bank of England. No, they say it as this is the rent you are paying.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can sort of go into detail and do the calculation, but do we have to go into that detail and check whether they are doing the tracking or not? Because there's a contract where they clearly say this is based on rent system, where you pay the rent for what you're paying there, right? So do we have to, in Islam, do we have to go into detail and check?
I mean, some of the clauses are questionable. Otherwise, the basic concept is according to the fiqh issues, is compatible. But some of the clauses are questionable and make the whole thing dodgy or it's good to avoid.
So Sheikh, what's our responsibility?
Okay, that's what I was saying. Meaning I was talking to, from long time we are doing some charitable work, but no one is doing any work for the local people. I mean, obviously you need to have lot of money to be able to give Qarz Hasana, but start giving to the people who are coming to your mosque, or start giving to those who are let's say, who are part of the community and coming to your mosque, for example. And there should be a system where they cannot run away with the Qarz Hasana. The property should be on the person's name and the charity's name in proportion to the contribution. And without any extra money, keep paying back the Qarz Hasana that you have borrowed, and at the end the charity should transfer the whole position. But we don't have any alternative. Saying this is haram, that is haram is fine, we have to avoid. But not everyone has the strong iman also to resist. Okay, when we say this is haram, and it is haram obviously, I don't encourage, no one will encourage or say. But at the same time, other responsibility is upon the Muslim community to provide halal alternative. No one is doing.
So Sheikh, how do we channel this? Because it is a big issue. It's a very big question.
I mean, be part of, if something comes up, be part of this type of organization or charity and help them. Meaning, if you have a big charity, let's say, and you have raised 10 million pounds or something, yes, you are able to help 10, 15, 20, 30 people of local community. Don't meaning you're not able to, you shouldn't be allowing to a person living in Birmingham. Give priority for the local people, and especially those who are connected with the organization or coming to the mosque and so on and so forth. Students, yes, first them. And if you have extra money, then go beyond. But no one is doing those type of things. Even for the student loan, 30,000, 40,000, how come they, from where they will get? Without taking the loan where you have to end up paying extra.
Sorry, Mom, like, I've got this Al-Rayan bank, it's one of the big banks in. So the way they sell it is, so they got 4 rent reviews a year. So it's a bit like, how interest rates fluctuate. So if the Bank of England increases the interest rate, they will go a month later and say, look, we need to do the rent review. So
we need to increase the rent.
Yeah, so they've got 4 rent reviews, which is based on that. So it's like a different way of telling them, basically, selling people that, look, we don't follow that. So it is the same, but it's just like a different name they give it. And other banks do the same, exactly. And the only way is like, there's like a big organization which give Qarz Hasana to people and say, look, you just pay us like a month or...
pay monthly and end up paying the same amount, and the property will be on the name of charity and the individual will propose until you clear.
That's what the bank does. They raise the...
Yeah, but the bank take the more money, isn't it? I'm saying take exactly the same money, give...
It works out the same pretty much.
No, the charity that I'm proposing is that you take from the borrower same amount and give preference for the local people, unless you develop into big massive charity and you have the means to help the wider community, wider Muslim community, then go. Otherwise, keep it. And it's not easy to raise a lot of money, isn't it? Okay, let's take a couple of lines and then we'll stop. It's 8:40. Okay, 5-10 minutes and we'll stop. So we finished with the Qarz, with the Riba. Now he's talking about the Qarz. He's saying وَتَقْرِضًا شَيْئًا, meaning give loan for people in need. Give loan to the people of need. If you have the capacity, you have extra money, instead of the money staying in the account, if someone is in need, give it. فَنَدْبٌ, it is something recommended and you get the reward of charity. There's a hadith that if you have given charity twice, if you have given Qarz to a person twice, let's say 1,000 and he paid another 1,000 after a while, so you will get the reward of giving it as if you have given a charity, in charity. Meaning if you have lended, let's say £2,000, half of the money you will get the reward of charity, as if you are giving 1,000 in charity. And if you give respite for person whose financial situation really strained or so, you will get extra reward. But at the same time, تَقْرِضْ أَحْسِنْ وَفَعَلٍ, but at the same time, don't give Qarz for professional borrowers. Don't encourage them. Okay, it's coming again. And don't give Qarz for those who are known to be irresponsible in paying back. Why? Because if you know that someone is known for this, and you give, as you are throwing away your money, you may not get it back. So helping someone is fine, but with this condition, the person is not professional borrower. I mean, taking money from here, from there, from there. Okay, subhanallah. Everyone knows Iqbal. Okay? In our mosque, he comes and very naive. He was asking address of someone. I said, why you want for? He said, his brother borrowed money long ago, and now he's saying, go and take the money back from my brother. When I heard, I laughed. I said, subhanallah, someone is so professional that even he hasn't left the like of Iqbal. Meaning Iqbal is known to be naive and financially simple and being on the benefits or so. So it's no good. Professional borrowers and those who are known for irresponsible behavior. Okay, how do you know if someone is? I mean, if he has got the reputation, your friends have said that, look, he has borrowed money, he hasn't paid, then don't give qarz to them, because it's like you are throwing away your money.
If a non-Muslim asks for money,
If he's a,
if a non-Muslim
hmm,
asks for money, should we sort of, we get any reward for that, like giving that for borrowing?
meaning if you're lending money,
Yeah.
obviously you'll get reward. You're helping. That's what I said. It is and the hadith is there that you get half of the money. For example, you lended 2,000, so you will get the reward of half of the money as if you have given in charity.
So even if it's a non-Muslim, yeah?
Non-Muslim.
Yeah.
I mean non-Muslim if they are neighbor. I thought you were saying non-Muslim. Non-Muslim if they are your neighbors or in need, that's fine. You're helping. Prophet ﷺ used to borrow from the Jews. He passed away and his, what we say, dera was rehen. So he used to borrow, and maybe vice versa.